Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host with the most, the one and only, bringing you yet another heavily requested battery drain test. I know this one is long overdue, but for those who are unaware, Apple updated their iPad Pro line and supercharged them with their proprietary M1 chip, the same chip found inside the new MacBook Airs, 13-inch MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, and also the all-new redesigned iMacs. Do not sleep on the M1 chip, please. It is a complete beast, but some might wonder, are there any limitations to the M1 chip plus iPad Pro combo? Some have argued that while the M1 chip in and of itself is a complete monster, it might be overkill for the iPad Pro. I go more in depth on that question on the M1 chip in my official 12.9-inch iPad Pro unboxing and review. But today, you know what you came here for. You saw the thumbnail and now you're ready for some action, and trust me, you're going to be completely shocked at the results. Boys and girls, this is it. Our reigning, defending iPad battery champ is the 10.2-inch budget iPad. A rather ironic twist if you ask me. The cheapest iPad seems to be the one with the biggest battery. Weird. I know, crazy, right? Well, today, the M1 iPad Pros are looking for vengeance. All the iPads are hungry for a dub and have been training non-stop. I've seen them suspend apps and make it look effortless. I've seen them run marathons while on Netflix. Again, the results will shock you. Whether you're a tech nerd like me and just want to see the battery potential of the M1 chip, or maybe you've been wanting to buy an iPad and want to see which one will be better for you battery-wise, or whether you simply want to see a tech royale rumble, you've come to the right place. So before we go over the tale of the tape, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and make sure you're ready for some action. Let's get the show on the road. Roll that intro. Alright guys, I'm going to be brief as I know you guys want to get straight into the action. Let me go ahead and list all the technical specifications up on the screen right now. Here it is, the tale of the tape. Pay close attention to physical battery size, screen resolution, and chipset, as these are more or less the biggest determining factors when it comes to gauging at battery life. For example, the 12.9-inch has the biggest physical battery, but it also has the biggest display, which also means it has more pixels to pump out. And speaking of the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, it now features an all-new Liquid Retina XDR display with mini LED technology. While not OLED, this screen looks gorgeous, at least that's my opinion. It does suffer from a little bit of blooming, but it's not too bad. So I wonder if that's going to have a huge detriment to its battery while performing this test. I guess we're going to have to see. Alright, as we're about to begin, we'll go over some ground rules. All of these iPads have been explained the rules in the locker rooms to keep everything consistent. All iPads' brightness have been set to exactly 50% using Siri. Bluetooth has been turned off on all, auto brightness off, True Tone is off, Do Not Disturb turned on all 5 belligerents, and meticulous care has been taken to ensure no single iPad has an edge. Just to be on the safe side, I also closed the all suspended apps on all iPads so that every iPad starts with a fresh pair of legs at 100% energy. Alright, here we go. Round number 1. The M1 iPads are the heavy favorites here, but will we get a dark horse with the iPad Mini or the iPad Air squeezing out the victory and dethrone the 10.2-inch? Or will the 10.2-inch once again reign supreme? Do me a favor and drop your predictions down below right now. Alright, round 1. We start off pretty basic and first perform a simple standby test. Think about this as a warm-up round, you know, like when you go into the gym and ask if anyone is using the 5-pound dumbbells. We sometimes leave our displays on without really doing anything on them. If you have auto lock, your display will automatically turn off after a predetermined amount of time, as this is a power efficiency measure. For this test, we disabled auto lock and had each iPad on, just chillin' for 45 minutes. After waiting in line at Chipotle for 30 minutes and nearly arriving late to check on the test, we see that each iPad is relatively healthy and all are ready to come out swinging. The iPad Mini suffered the biggest L here, dropping 5 percentage points on a simple standby test, dropping to 95%. The 10.2-inch drops only 2 points, down to 98. The Air trying it up at, again, 98%. The iPad Pro 11-inch starts out strong, making a bold statement. It's not going to get bodied early on and is in the lead, only dropping to 99%. And the 12.9 inch matches up with the smaller M1 iPad Pro and is also tied up down to 99%. Fairly easy round, but hold your horses, we're just getting started. Round number 2, the video recording test. This one is quite simple as well. We fire up the camera app, hit the record button, and have them record my wall for 45 minutes. It makes for a quite exciting recording if you ask me. While I personally never use my iPads to take pictures or videos, I know there are some consumers out there that do. No, hey, I mean, you do you. I just think it looks kind of goofy taking pictures with a massive tablet like the 12.9 inch. But anyway, after a little over an hour, how are the iPads holding up? Will the 10.2 inch crumble under the pressure? Well, let's take a look. The Mini, often overlooked for its small size, falls to 82%. While its older, more affordable brother, the 10.2 inch iPad, falls to 89%. The Air, still ahead of the 10.2 inch miraculously, coming out swinging with 90%. The 11 inch Pro, wait for it, 90%. Hey, let's go. It's still too early to call, but so far, I'm excited to hopefully crown a new champ. And we can't forget the 12.9 inch as it falls to 89%. So far, is your pick in the lead? We have no time to waste. Let's move on to round number 3. Boy, oh boy, this is getting good. It's a great start to another epic battery drain test, but for our third test, we tap into All Reliable, or as I like to call this one, the get whatever you have to do on a Sunday out of the way during this test. I have 3 hours for this test to run my errands, hit the gym, and of course, we cannot forget to cop some Dunkin' Donuts coffee, a medium iced caramel macchiato to be exact. $4.91 with tax, I already know. But anyway, we head over to our obligatory Netflix test. I think a lot of people would prefer consuming content on their iPads versus their iPhones, for example. So this is a way of replicating real life usage for a lot of people. This time around, we tune into Mindhunter, a thrilling Netflix series my girlfriend put me on that is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. If you like murder mystery or thrillers, give this show a shot. After 3 hours and after nearly running over a squirrel to make it back on time, we arrive at the following figures. We'll start in reverse order just to build some suspense. The 12.9 inch iPad Pro, which mind you, at this point, we have only performed pretty benign tests. Nothing too heavy on the M1 chipset. The 12.9 inch drops to only an impressive 62%. Our underdog, the 11 inch iPad Pro, comes in at a more respectable 66%, 2/3 battery in, not bad. The iPad Air is slightly worse than the 12.9 inch at 57%. The iPad mini, unsurprisingly, is still in last place at 47%, now under half capacity. But all eyes are on the budget 10.2 inch iPad. The most affordable iPad on Apple's current lineup comes in fighting back. It's not going to let no dweeb take its belt. It's now trailing the 11 inch Pro in second place, but barely, at 65%. Wow. The budget iPad never ceases to amaze me. So 3 rounds in, and it's still anyone's dub to take. Before we go into round number 4, I do have a favor to ask of you guys. As you can probably tell, these videos take weeks of planning, days of scripting, and several hours to film and put everything together. At the bare minimum, I'd appreciate some love. According to my analytics, only about 8% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. If you like content like this, comparisons, unboxings, or really anything to have to do with tech, consider subscribing to my channel and help me reach my dream of one day having a silver play button. Either way, I appreciate every single one of you guys viewing my videos. Alright, sorry for shamelessly plugging in my channel. Alright, we proceed with round number 4. And as you can see, some of these iPads are starting to get gassed out with less than half left in the tank. This is a crucial moment for our combatants. It's now or never. It seems the 11 inch Pro might actually take the gold this time around. Shoot, even the 12.9 inch with the new M1 is still in this race strong. Round number 4 is our gaming test, and you already know I love to run Temple Run for 2 reasons. One, it's addicting as heck to play, and two, is advantageous for my testing since it continuously loops and is pretty AFKable. A lot of us nowadays either play some mobile games here and there, or either hand our iPads to our bratty younger siblings to play some games on, or head over to Apple Arcade for some mindless and quick games while you're in a waiting room or something. Gaming on an iPad, especially the massive 12.9 inch, feels great and 10 times better than playing on your smaller iPhone screen. So anyway, an hour and a half into gaming and we come to these figures. The iPad mini has definitely seen better days as it drops to 27%. The 10.2 inch once again doesn't disappoint and is now at 49%. Will this be enough to take the lead? Let's keep going. The newly redesigned Air now sits at 40%. The 11-inch Pro, on the other hand, still in the lead, right at half capacity, 50%. And the gargantuan 12.9 inch now sits at 41%. As we head into test number 5, let's see where we stand. If we're talking left to right, that is the Mini, 10.2 inch, Air, 11-inch Pro, and 12.9 inch, the standings respectively are 5th place for the Mini, 10.2 inch in 2nd, Air in 4th, 11-inch Pro currently holds the lead in 1st, and the 12.9 inch is 3rd so far in the test. Now for test number 5, I decided to actually test that M1 a little further and do a bit of multitasking. As some of you know, Apple before has touted the iPad line as a laptop replacement. Whether that's true or not is how you see the iPads, specifically the Pros. So in theory, the M1 chip should be more battery efficient at multitasking since it's advertised as being one of the best chipsets on the planet and arguably overkill for the iPad Pro line. What I did was mimic your average high school or college student writing a paper for class and while researching on Wikipedia using split screen view. This is where you can have two separate apps open simultaneously and each half of the screen can be used independently of the other. And we also went ahead and added Apple TV with picture-in-picture into the mix. So we have split screen view with two apps open at the same time, scrolling through researching while jotting down some notes in the Notes app with Apple TV running with picture-in-picture in the background. All three of these running at the same time for 90 minutes, and afterwards we recorded our results. The mighty 12.9 inch really took an L here. When compared to where it stood from the last round, it dropped a whole 29 points down to just 12%, already in the red. The 11-inch Pro did much better, dropping to 31%. I suspect this has something to do with the screen real estate the 12.9 inch has and all those extra pixels it has to pump out. The Air, however, now overtook the 12.9 inch for 3rd place, coming in at 17%. The Mini at 4%. But shout out to the Mini for showing some heart. But I know you want to know where the 10.2 inch sits. Ladies and gents, 33%. The budget 10.2 inch is now in the lead. How is this possible? Just like that, the sneaky 10.2 inch paced itself and is now in the lead, but not by much, and I doubt the 11-inch Pro is going to give up that easily. With that being said, let's look at test number 6. I like using Twitter because that's how I get my news the fastest. It's a great app that lets you know what other users are talking about, and more often than not, people tweet about recent events, whether it be tracking the pandemic, politics, weather advisories, stocks, and so on. Whenever I get the chance, I prefer to log on Twitter on my iPad Pro to take advantage of that extra screen real estate. I logged on and scrolled through Twitter on each iPad for approximately 30 minutes. But before the test ended, we already have one competitor out of the race. Boys and girls, round of applause for our Mini. It gave it its all but came up short once again, coming in last place, lasting approximately 8 hours and 18 minutes. Unfortunately, the Mini has consistently came in last place across my iPad battery drain test, but that could be because of the weaker chipset and smaller physical battery. But now with the Twitter test over, let's look at the others. The 12.9 inch now comes in at 6%, followed by the 11-inch Pro at 20%, the Air at 11%, and our budget iPad now with a comfortable lead with a quarter capacity, 25%. How? This budget iPad is roided up, I swear. As we head into round number 7, I want to remind everyone that we can't prematurely call it. The race is still too close to call. We're nearing the end, and so far these iPads are putting up a show. For test number 7, we have the Apple Pencil charge test. For those of you that are Apple Pencil owners, you know that charging these suckers doesn't take much time at all, definitely less than 45 minutes from 0 to full, if not quicker. So my 2 Apple Pencils were dead anyway, so this was a great opportunity to charge them up and use them in the name of science. Each Apple Pencil was charged for 7 minutes, with the Air, 11-inch Pro, and 12.9-inch being charged magnetically on the side with the Apple Pencil 2. And the budget 10.2-inch still has the unicorn method for charging, which is still crazy to see in 2021. After my Apple Pencils got a jolt of energy, the budget iPad still reigned supreme, but this time by a smaller margin, coming in at 19%. The Air is down to its last breath of air at 5%, and now the 11-inch Pro is down to 16%, only 3 percentage points away. Man, this is beginning to be a nail biter. This is too much suspense. Oh yeah, and the 12.9-inch is also barely hanging into singular percentage. I thought it was about to die in my hands, but it's still hanging in there, I hope. Test number 8 is basically the same thing. Same idea, only except for charging, I instead drew on each iPad with its respective Apple Pencil. Sadly, I couldn't get to all 4 because our second iPad to fall and meet its fate is the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which tapped out at approximately 9 hours and 21 minutes into our testing. Still pretty impressive to last that long on such a massive and vivid display. Try not to judge my pieces of artwork as I don't claim to be an artist, but going through our battery percentages before we head into the final round, the iPad Air is now on its last leg, literally about to throw in the towel any second at 1%. While the 11-inch Pro is not giving up, folks, it's coming back swinging and is shortening the gap. Could this be the upset of the century? It comes in at 12% battery, whereas the 10.2-inch, not much ahead at 14%. And now, heading into our championship round. This is it. Time to put the pedal to the metal. There are no more excuses. Which iPad will take it all? As is obligatory, for the last test, we perform the YouTube test. A very simple test and an activity millions of people across the globe do. Many of us hop on YouTube for entertainment, others to learn something. Then there's the classic how-tos, and who could forget all the cat videos? Whatever your reason, strap up because you won't believe how this ends. As we begin our final test, as expected, our iPad Air didn't fare much longer and succumbed to its fate at 9 hours and 46 minutes, finishing with the bronze in 3rd place. Unbelievably, about an hour after the Air went lights out, the 11-inch Pro continued to add the pressure, now only a single percentage away with 4% left, while the 10.2-inch budget iPad sits at 5%. Ladies and gents, I don't think it can get any better than this. You already know I had to change the lights to this bright and frenetic red to add effect. The suspense was killing me, so I checked in on both of them at exactly 11 hours into the test, and holy smokes. Guys, we are deadlocked in a tie. Both the 10.2-inch and 11-inch Pro sit at 2%. The 11-inch Pro is showing some incredible heart, and at this point, I think both of these iPads are winners. But as you might know, we can't have 2 simultaneous winners. No sir, there can only be one. With each passing minute, more and more suspense is added. Will our 10.2-inch budget iPad finally be dethroned, or will it continue its winning streak for the 3rd time in a row? Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner. The 11-inch Pro, sadly, threw in the towel at 11 hours and 7 minutes, coming in with the silver in 2nd place, and in 1st place, literally only 7 minutes ahead. That's just 420 seconds after the 11-inch Pro. Nonetheless, we have an undisputed winner. Let's give it up, ladies and gents, for the reigning, defending iPad battery drain test king. Again, the budget 10.2-inch iPad. Dang, no lie, that was an insane test. I was rooting for the 11-inch Pro heavy for 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm trying to see a new winner. The budget 10.2-inch iPad is a tank. It handled everything we threw at it with ease. At one point, it was lagging behind the 11-inch Pro, but I guess in between rounds, it popped its roids and came out on top. Crazy. And reason number 2, the M1 chip. It just goes to show the M1 in terms of battery is still bested by the budget 10.2-inch. Who would have thought? The budget iPad and iPad mini for sure need a refresh, and there are rumors that'll happen soon. Whatever Apple decides to do with the budget iPad, whether adding a better chipset or redesigning it completely, you better believe I'll have volume 4 of my battery drain test ready. If you want to see my prior battery drain test, I'll attach a card at the top right and also in the description down below. I want to thank everyone who made it to the end. Again, drop a like as it really helps me out and it shows appreciation for all the work that goes behind the scenes in making these tests for you guys. Once again, shout out to our 10.2-inch budget iPad for taking the gold. Followed very closely behind is the 11-inch Pro, and in third place, the mighty and lightweight Air. Alright guys, that's been it. Hope you enjoyed, and I cannot wait to catch you all in my next video. Peace.